This meeting is being recorded.
Hey, everybody, and welcome back to another exciting episode of the Mod Squad, the show where we talk about streaming technology. This is episode 236 on May 26, 2021. I am Clyde, and today I am joined by Matthew Ross.
Hello.
Michael Aston.
Howdy, y'all.
And Jimmy Trammell.
Hey, everybody.
And
we and the NSA are recording us.
Yeah, apparently this meeting is being recorded.
Wow, new feature, huh?
I hope that's something I can turn off because it's really going to mess up my workflow. Yeah.
You're just going to have to start the recording a little early, I think, just because recording in progress is, that is great.
This meeting is being recorded. It's like, where did that voice come from?
You surviving, Clyde? You're getting tired.
I am exhausted, but as of right now, I am off until Tuesday, so I'm going to be okay.
Oh, good. You're going to have a nice long, what a 5-day weekend?
Yes.
Wow, man. What are you going to do for 5 whole days?
Sleep.
Oh, that's not fair.
Well, I mean, we'll probably get some time out. Got to take the new motorcycle out. But,
oh, that's right. You showed us pictures of that great motorcycle. That's a nice little guy you got for steel.
Yeah, I mean,
man,
need a little bit of work. I should have it back on the road this weekend. So, yeah.
Oh, what's wrong with it right now?
Oh, I mean, just normal old motorcycle stuff. First thing you do is when you bring it home, running or not, you pull the carbs off and rebuild them because you can almost guarantee that the previous owner didn't know what the hell they were doing, even if they say, "Oh, it was previously, we rebuilt the carbs." Yeah, I don't trust you. Just little stuff like that. But,
okay. Well.
Yeah. I mean, what about you guys? What's going on? Big plans for Memorial Weekend?
Well, I'm probably going to go exercise. My wife has started to get up early in the morning on weekends and go out to the gym. And she had a friend who would go out with her. And it was great. And the friend bailed on her on the weekend.
And guess what? She gets to go back
you want to go?
Number one.
And I went, I guess. And apparently I get to go again this weekend. So it's fine.
So your wife is going into the gym now, right?
Yeah. She's been going to the gym for like a couple months now. And I've not been. I'm the guy who sleeps in. Okay, I'm the guy that if you let me, 10 a.m. I will get up eventually. You know, that's fine. But no, that's okay. It's the first time I've ever been in the gym. It's kind of an interesting experience, quite frankly. It's fine. It's nothing to worry about. I did a nice, 30-minute run on the treadmill and tried out some of the equipment.
Time you've ever been in a gym?
Not ever been in a gym, but ever been to the gym to exercise like as a thing.
Okay. Just remember when you're getting cleaned up afterwards, prison rules do apply. Don't drop the soap. Keep your eyes to yourself. You don't.
We went home to shower. It's okay. Yeah, we didn't use the gym showers.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, no, other than that, right now it's crazy end of school year stuff for me. So, yeah, nothing really exciting there, really. And yeah, it's pretty easy stuff here.
Yeah. My weekend, I'm sure will. Also, I've been thinking about going back to the gym too, because I haven't since COVID. I haven't really been going to the gym. Trying to exercise at home a little bit, but been really wanting to get back in there. That's the reason why I asked, right? And I want to get back into the gym, and then I'm sure somewhere along the weekend there'll be some wine to be had around my house as well.
No.
Really? Wine? I never thought of you as a wine drinker. I don't know.
He's a
That's fine.
wine runner.
So you think I just painted my wall that color? Actually, that's just spills of wine.
So you're not into the whites then? Okay, gotcha. Okay.
Occasionally, I'll do that.
Oh, okay.
But typically, it is red for me.
Good for you. No. No,
Right.
that's about it for us, I think. Nothing else exciting happening right here. We are a bunch of boring people who don't, do anything fun on weekends anymore.
I usually
right.
do.
Like what? What would you normally do?
I stumbled across the car show last weekend. I was out exploring and driving around and doing stuff and going play. I was supposed to go up to the lake this weekend, but that kind of fell through because stuff going on in other people's lives. But
That sucks, man.
yeah, it's okay. I'll figure something out. But right now we should probably figure out what we're here to actually talk about.
Oh, while we may be boring in our own personal lives, we are exciting with all our news. I must tell you, it's the most exciting thing ever. Hey, have you guys ever heard of an artist called Warren Hugh?
The light bulbs by Philips.
Warren who?
The Hue.
I have now.
Like system where you talk to it and you make your house into like
I
automated.
don't know anything about this artist. He apparently is a beatbox artist. I don't know. He does some type of music remixes. He does, and he's now got the backing of Microsoft. He's using their Too Many Tiers. They're using making a website called TooManyTiers.ai, which is using Microsoft's engines to make a endless looping version of the song of the Too Many Tears that will go on forever. And I've listened to about 30 seconds of that song and said of the looping version of it, and went, okay, I could probably listen to this for about an hour, and then I'd probably lose my mind.
Yeah, I braved it and did the research so you guys don't. And Matt apparently beat me out because I thought I was going out there for y'all, but I only made it 10 seconds. Yeah, I will concede, if you're into that type of music, it's probably not all that bad. I don't like that kind of music at all. I don't. Yeah. So very unappealing to myself. And a 24-hour loop of absolutely any song is
Unbearable.
literally just designed to be a way for torture hostage takers to be lazy.
Yep.
Oh,
I would like to point out.
Don't worry. I don't have to worry about it now because I'll just turn on YouTube. They got me covered for my torture for the week.
I'd like to point your attention to the thumbnail that they used for the video. I wouldn't watch this mainly because it looks like a medical alert commercial. That dude has clearly fallen and he can't get up. Most likely, he suffered some sort of a broken neck.
yeah, he doesn't look good. Also, that helicopter is right on the edge, man. I don't know what to say. And the television
his
too.
tub is filled with smoke. He's obviously smoking the wrong thing. That the smoke stinks like that. That heavy
carbon
stuff
dioxide.
can't be good for your air.
Yeah,
for your lungs.
He's fallen into a pool of carbon dioxide, so he's probably can't breathe.
That's not good.
No,
don't do that.
That's why he needs the medical alert.
It's public safety warning. Don't smoke carbon dioxide in a bathtub in your silk pajamas.
So this brings up the idea of what we had was, I think it was called the Infinite Jukebox.
Yeah, Infinite Jukebox. I like Infinite Jukebox.
But the Infinite Jukebox has since been retired and has been brought back as the Eternal Jukebox.
Yes.
So You can still find the Eternal Jukebox on the web and use it, which tries to find the spots to loop back music of tunes that you can pick up. I think it uses Spotify, so if it's in Spotify's catalog, it can probably do it for you. And but this guy is using Microsoft's AI in order to do an infinite loop of his own song, but it's only one song, guys. I don't get that.
Well,
how
the
this
problem
is going
it's
to be
a video, so it'll never be different. It's always going to be the same thing. Every time you listen to it, you listen to all 24 hours. When you come back again, it'll be the same thing because it just generated a song.
I don't think it's.
I thought you were saying that they put out the video 24 hours of it.
No, actually, that's a different story.
Oh,
later on in the show.
Oh, okay.
You see, you're mixing stories, man.
I don't know. I was going off of what Mike said. That's what I get for listening to Mike.
Oh, don't be too bad hard on Mike.
What are you talking about? I just said that I couldn't listen to more than 10 seconds of it. I have no idea how it loops through what it does video and audio wise beyond that 10 seconds.
No,
and I selected 10 seconds out of the middle of the song, so it wasn't just that it took too long to get going.
You did the YouTube video. I actually went to TooManyTears.ai to listen to whatever it pops up with.
So I'm talking about the video. So.
Now that's the AI version that just literally plays it forever.
No, I just went to YouTube, listened to the song because that was my test for whether or not I was going to want to tear up my hair, bloody my ears to get it to stop.
Speaking of Spotify, though.
If we want to talk about them, I guess, suppose. Hey, if you are a Spotify user and you are interested in using their audiobook section, they're going to be coming up with a new Storytel option later this year. Well, Storytel is I'm actually not. I think I skipped over reading the story. I actually don't know what's going on with it. It's available in 25 countries. They've got to start off with 500,000 audiobooks for people to use. It's going to be available in multiple countries, including Germany, South Korea, and Sweden. And many of them, these audiobooks you'll be able to listen to in English, among other languages. So, hey, it's another entry into the audiobook game. That's good.
I think it's worth noting that I think Storytel is probably the first major publisher to use the open access platform that Spotify announced recently. So
this isn't Spotify. This is somebody going through Spotify.
Yes. So Spotify these will be available on Spotify. This is using that open access platform that they announced to make it easier for publishers to get their stuff on. And I believe there's like a revenue sharing model of some sort for subscriptions and whatnot. I don't remember all the details, but.
So, I mean, the one thing I would say is I'm always on board for competition. And so this coming in to potentially compete against Audible is a good thing. But man, I would not want to get into that business myself. Like Audible is more than like a 800-pound gorilla. It's like, I don't know, the Brontosaurus or the T-Rex or something.
It's King Kong.
Yeah, absolutely.
King Kong. That's more like it.
It is absolutely the biggest. Number 2 is probably Apple. They actually have a pretty good selection at Apple. I have used the audiobook section of the Google Play audiobooks, and it is acceptable. It's what they can get a hand of. But let's bring up more players into this.
While Apple does play in that market, Audible is the Kleenex of.
Yeah,
I mean.
I know I've bought books in Google Play. I don't know if I've ever bought audiobooks there. But yeah, I mean, it's almost synonymous when you say you're getting an audiobook. An audio book. People just, they use it like rollerblades, it's like, oh, I'm going to go get an Audible of that book or something, it's just, it's synonymous.
It's
so
the Walkman of
it would be great if somebody could compete to drive up, potentially price competition. I mean, I think the prices are pretty cheap in my opinion for Audible. That's really one of the things that set it apart is that as a subscription, it becomes cheaper than most of the other services, I think.
Oh, absolutely.
and so that's going to be a big challenge. And then the other thing is that they have by far the biggest selection, and they have a bunch of exclusive content where they either purchased the rights to or had somebody create audible books of new audiobooks just for them.
Well, I mean, just like you said, Mike, I mean, Audible's been in this business for a long time. They even have the university lectures that they have in there too. I don't know if you guys ever tried that or not, but I have. I probably listen to more lectures than I have books from Audible. And, I mean, they've got really a robust service, right, for what you get. I mean, I pay the $15 a month to subscribe to them. And I mean, I've got a big library now, and, especially if you're a busy guy like I am, right, to be able to just sit down, have the time to sit down and read a book. That once upon a time I did used to have that time, but not these days, right? And for me, either when I'm having breakfast early in the morning, or is it the end of the day and I'm going out for my walk, that's the perfect time for me to also get some Audible in, right? Which is what I do. And yeah, they've been around for years. They're definitely the King Kong in the business, right? I don't know, but again, yeah, more competition is always good.
Yeah, I mean, the big challenge for new entrants is that, like, I have 135 Audible books, right? So going to get involved with another platform when you have 135 books over here, that's a challenge. Like, I don't see myself wanting to migrate anything or start another library.
That's exactly what King Kong Bezos is hoping.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, see,
corner the market.
It's similar to your purchases for Prime.
Hey,
right?
we're not holding you hostage. You're free to go anytime you want. But you're gonna have to leave that stuff behind. It'll always be here whenever you want it. But yeah, you can't take it with you.
Yeah, I mean, if you purchased a book, you can always still access it. So that's good. Yeah. But you cannot migrate it. Like, Movies Anywhere is nice because
Anywhere is like one of the very few times where you were able to move your content to a different provider. Because everything is siloed like that. Phones and their apps are that way. I mean, it's all that way pretty much everywhere. So Movies Anywhere is the shining example of when that was not true. You can take your movies with you onto almost any platform. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
We need a Titles Anywhere.
Okay.
I was trying to think of a way to work books into that, but Books Anywhere sounds stupid. But Titles Anywhere. Yeah.
I don't know. So here we are with Yamaha's announcement. They have come out with a new line of their high-end receivers. These guys are able to provide functionality with HDMI 2.1, which is the newest and greatest of them all features. This allows them to have high fidelity, high refresh rate connections up to 4K at 220 hertz or up to 8K at probably, I think it's going to be at 60. It doesn't say exactly here. This one also provides a lot of the cooler features on there, like especially for gamers. If you're a gamer out there, you can get variable refresh rate through these. You can get an automatic low latency mode, which yes, please. Quick frame transport and quick media switching. So it's not. Excuse me. Those features are not available at launch. No, they're not going to be there yet. Apparently, you're going to buy the product and then hopefully get an update later to receive
Yamaha's usually pretty good about that.
Okay, good.
If you go back about 2 years ago, I predicted that Yamaha will be releasing some new groundbreaking receiver in the next year or so. And the reason I knew that is I finally put my money down and bought a new Yamaha receiver. which I like it. It's great. It's 4K and Atmos and 7-channel audio or 9 for Atmos. Yeah.
Yeah.
See,
I mean-
sir, we have a rule named after you, which is that if you like it, other people don't. What is that rule called? That if you just purchased it, it's going to be obsolete.
Oh, that's
in a
also
year.
part of the rule of Clyde.
Oh, okay.
It just one rule pertains to purchases, and the other pertains to just my general enjoyment of.
Okay, well, I have my own rule, which is when the rule of Matt is that when Matt finally decides to go out and actually join the crowd with everybody else of the thing that everybody else has been enjoying, that's
shuttered.
the mark of its decline.
Yep.
Within a year, usually it's no more.
Yeah.
People aren't using it anymore. So I don't know.
Well, these look like pretty good receivers. I think that it's responsible for them to clearly let you know that you're not going to get the 2.1 features off the bat, because they're having so many issues with it, as are most receiver manufacturers.
Yeah, apparently it's not just Yamaha having features problems with 2.1.
Most of them. But the kicker is the price, man. These are really steep receivers, and Yamaha makes good stuff, but they're not all exclusively high end. But these I would consider high end. Maybe not audiophile level, but $1,300 base and $3,000 for the top of the line. That's pretty steep in my book.
It depends. Their top of the line stuff is killer. Most of their consumer good enough ones are usually just sub 1,000, like around the 800 range. But 1,500 to 2,000 doesn't surprise me. The 3,000 one made me go, I'd have to hear that. But I doubt even if it lived up to the price tag that it would sound $3,000. That would get me 6 motorcycles
at current rates.
So I mean, I've owned a Yamaha before. The surround sound speakers I have set up in my living room. The first receiver I bought with that system was a Yamaha. Now I used it probably for about maybe 11 years, and until I bought the Onkyo that I have now. It's a great brand. I mean, you pick up one of these things. Yeah, I mean, the price, it just depends on how good you want it to sound, right? I mean, for some people, a $400 or $500 receiver would probably be good enough, right? But then if you really want that, next level, then you're probably going to have to spend, $1,000 or more probably to get to that next level.
And that's what I did was 2 years ago. I bought the model that had just been replaced. So for $250, I got the $800, the one that was $800 the year before. So, because I mean, at that time they were at the end of a cycle. So even though the new one was a year newer, it didn't have any new features. It just had a different model number on it. Like mine's a 350 and it was a 450 or whatever. They were exactly the same. So, but I'd be interested to hear this. Hopefully,
the thing I would say is that your expenditure on a receiver is, it'll make a difference, right? But
definitely.
It will be greatly mitigated if you don't put an equal effort and investment into your speaker system.
Oh, absolutely. Where were we?
Shall we move on to the next story?
Yes.
Let's move on to the next story.
Next story, we have Spotify is getting the option to allow you to download music. You know, that's a thing that you could do.
Yeah.
Now you've been thinking, hey, we've been able to do that for a while.
You-
Aha!
Unless
You would
you're
think
on some
that's
crazy Apple device.
That's right. If you are some crazy Apple Watch and you were thinking maybe you could download the music so you can listen to your music through your watch and to your Bluetooth headphones, or crazy enough, maybe even use the speaker built onto your Apple Watch. Yes, you can actually figure out a way of doing that so you can now listen to your offline tunes while you are using your watch somewhere away from your phone. Unless, of course, you have LTE on your watch, at which point you could just do that anyways. So, okay.
I wouldn't recommend using your watch speaker.
Hey, you know what? When you're desperate. Actually, that's the one thing I wish that this Android watch had was a speaker in it, because it does not have anything, not even for beeps or anything like that. All it does is vibrate, which is fine, but I wish it did have a little beep for me. That'd be nice. Oh, so I was going to say that we should have this story being our next story, because nothing bad happened to the stream, nothing at all, because obviously everything is going fine.
Because Mediacom is the greatest ISP I've ever had. Nothing would happen to the stream.
DARPA is right now going, what the heck is going on? It's so tired of seeing all this weird stuff on the internet, and they have decided to let you know that they have made what they call a sarcasm detector. It's basically them attempting to make it much easier for them and you to be able to decide whether or not something that is said on the internet is intended for informational purposes, or intended to be a prank and or to just kind of troll you. So quite frankly, this is really good, because we need this kind of stuff, because there's an awful lot of sarcasm on the internet, quite frankly.
Yeah,
It's
What?
I didn't say this sounds like
Really?
a great
No.
use of money. The taxpayer dollar, I might add.
That's true.
So I agree to a large extent. I think the place where this is so severely needed is like in your audio, like, geez, holy crap, my brain is
Dads
just
need
completely
this
shut down.
for communicating with their
instant-
teenage daughters.
Yes. No, I mean, in your instant messaging programs at work, right? Like, I often will, I tend to be pretty good about remembering to comment if it's sarcasm, but occasionally other people will send me a message, and then I'll respond seriously to their sarcastic comment. And then they'll freak out and be like, no, I was being sarcastic. And then I was like, I know, I was just taking you at your face value to startle you. But it would be helpful. I think there's a lot of people that say things in text or instant message that think that other people can recognize it as sarcasm. And there's not that inflection of your voice that is often there.
I just want to say, Mr. DARPA, let me in on the testing. I'm pretty sure I can break your detector.
So yeah, and also for some people, maybe some people like Clyde, it would probably pop up and say sarcasm detected with pretty much everything he says. So
Yeah.
I don't know. If that's interesting.
I mean, from a practical perspective, it also seems likely to be usable in various intelligence related work for identifying when individuals' communications are not serious versus serious, to reduce the efforts of actual human agents in involvement with jokes and sarcastic comments and things along those lines.
Someone recently told me, you're always so sarcastic or joking that nobody ever knows when you're serious, to which I replied, good.
I didn't detect sarcasm in that one, in your reply. None. There was no sarcasm in that.
Nope, that was genuine. Good.
I think that was very
100%
genuine.
That's
Mission
the only thing
accomplished.
you said all day that was genuine.
All right. Next story, we have a story. So recently, Google and Samsung have gotten together and decided to make their next big leap forward into wearable devices by Samsung going ahead and stopping individual development on their Tizen processors, Tizen operating system, in order to make watches with actual apps in an app store, which is what Wear OS actually has. So there was a question going around whether or not Samsung was going to be abandoning Tizen altogether. And Samsung wanted to make it perfectly clear that no, they are going to continue using the Tizen operating system that they have been working and using for quite a few years now, especially in their televisions, and are probably not going to be moving over to the Android TV at any time. So this being a more closed walled garden, this is an kind of an unexpected thing, especially since they probably put a lot of investment into it. And who knows where it can go from here? Yeah, I could see that after all the money they probably put into making Tizen work on their TVs and making it work well, they weren't going to jump ship on it just because they decided on a different platform.
Yeah,
but use a different OS.
Well, I am a proponent of open systems and the like. That was, early on, that was always my biggest complaint about Apple. But things have gotten better in all respects. That said, I am strongly behind this decision because I believe that if we have a reduction in the number of different systems, then we don't benefit. The consumer almost always benefits from competition, and so having different operating systems out there for TVs and stuff forces them to stay competitive, I think.
But
so
Tizen isn't really a different operating system. It's just their flavor of Android. It's literally a fork of Android.
But it's enough different that it is different, and it's different enough that it stands out, at least in their minds. So I assume that
it's different enough that Tizen apps won't work on Android, but Android apps will work on Tizen.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, Samsung's gonna do what Samsung's gonna do. I'm not surprised there. Although there was a comment, one of the last lines in this story I do agree with, in the fact that the operating system a TV comes with doesn't factor in into most consumers' buying decisions. Size, display quality, and most of all, price play much more of a significant role in those purchases. And yeah, because as we've said over the years, over and over, I really don't care what operating system's on the TV, because I'm just going to plug in whatever I want to use. So, I mean, yeah.
That's fair enough.
Well, I mean, guys like us, we're always going to do that. This is probably more for the, average guy out there, because the average guy will use the smart television.
Yeah.
Right, until they discover they can't play what they want to play there.
Very cool.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Apple TV 4K has a feature that will enable you to use your old HomePod audio speakers in more useful ways. The HomePod, the original HomePod from Apple, has been discontinued, so it is no longer something you were able to purchase. But if you do have a couple of those and we're wishing you could hook it up to your TV, if you have an Apple TV, you can use the HDMI Enhanced ARC, eARC, to stream the video audio from your TV back into the Apple 4K, and then the Apple 4K can wirelessly beam that audio to one or two of the HomePods, so they can be speakers in your room.
Yeah.
This is being considered an option for people who still have these and are looking for good ways of using them, even though they are really nice speakers so that they might as well use them on your big screen TV.
And worth noting, since most people out there don't know what ARC is, ARC stands for Audio Return Channel.
Mm-hmm.
This is how, if let's say I've got my Roku hooked up to my TV, or actually it's hooked up into my receiver, and then my receiver sends the video and the audio up to the TV. But then if I flip to the TV, the receiver can receive sound from the TV on ARC audio return channel back to the receiver. So
So the receiver can then send it out
because
to
the
its speakers.
sound didn't pass through the receiver, it originated on the TV, which is at the end of the chain. So there had to be a way to send that audio back. So important to know, most modern TVs have ARC, but typically only on one input. So you have to actually look on, it should be labeled on your TV on the input, ARC, or if it isn't, you have to look in the documentation for your TV.
Yep. Or you have a really old TV like mine, and a modern device being plugged into it, and it still pops up with the HDCP errors every once in a while. Jeez, I can't believe it. It should have been solved so long ago, but it's what I get for getting the cheapest TV I could buy at Walmart in the year 2000. So.
I was in the 1900s. What?
It was probably 1999 or 2000. I bought that little
giant tube,
32-inch 720p, and it's in one of my little offices.
Yeah, that would have to be like what, 06, 07?
Yeah, it's not.
I was going to say 99, 2000. That would be like a $30,000 TV.
Probably you're right. I don't know. It's a long time ago. That's all my brain can say.
Okay.
All right. So, we've had these records for a while now being broken about whether or not, these 24-hour videos from YouTube. It's about a while ago, YouTube allowed videos that are up to 24 hours long. And so ever since then, different bands have been coming out with like these 24-hour albums or 24-hour songs. And, yes, so this is another record being broken. BTS has come out with their new song. It's the K-pop group, and their song has come out and with 113 million viewers for their music video Butter. And that beats the last record by about 12 million, which was also by BTS. And because of that, this may be the last time we ever mention this kind of thing on this show ever again. Because nobody really cares.
Yeah.
And BTS. I almost wanted to say BTO.
Okay.
You can.
Sure. That's fine.
Turner Overdrive? Is that
Yeah,
what that is?
Bachman Turner Overdrive
Bachman
is what
Turner.
yeah.
I was like, I recognize that, but I can't quite get there.
CTA.
It was Bachman Turner. That was
They
close.
were-
It was really
they were
close.
they were popular when Matt was being born.
STP. So it's all good. Whatever. 3-letter acronyms. TLAs. And extended 3-letter acronyms. ETLAs. So it's all good.
TLC,
ARC. That was a callback.
RDP. We can do this all night with 3-letter
OMG.
acronyms.
Let's go. All right.
Yeah.
So their NFTs are a thing. People are buying digital items and making getting ownership of these items. There has been a sale of the old, very popular video called "Charlie Bit My Finger." This is a cute little video where an older brother sticks his finger into the mouth of a younger baby brother, and Charlie, the younger brother, does what a baby does when you stick something in his mouth. He bites it. And Charlie bit my finger. And this video has been viewed, I don't know how many millions of times. It's so many. It's a ridiculous amount of times. Anyways, somebody bought that as an NFT and is threatening or has already taken it down from YouTube because, quote unquote, they own it now. So there are other places you can find.
People said that NFTs wouldn't be used for bad.
Anyways, this you'll still be able to watch this video on other places that had copies of it, but that original copy is owned by the who are they guys? The guys, the Origin Protocol ran the auction for it, and it was sold to I don't know who it was sold to for $761,000. I mean, seriously.
Yeah, I'll stick to buying stuff that I can physically use until I decide to sell it.
Mhm.
Yeah, you guys want to All of you out there who want to throw away your money on stuff that doesn't actually exist, go right ahead.
Monty Python would do a NFT on something like on a picture of my breath or something like that. Something you just cannot tangibly hold.
See, they did sell a dead parrot to a guy.
That's
So now they're just going to
There's
sell
an NFT.
the idea of a dead parrot.
That's great. All right. We have here a story about Google's Fuchsia OS. Fuchsia OS has been Google's attempt to, from the ground up, create a brand new operating system for their use. They were looking at possibly using it as a way to replace programs, like doing things like replacing Android as a possibility in the future. Well, they've been working on it, and they've now decided to release it. It's now available. You can get it for right now if you have an original Nest Hub. That's right. The original Nest Hub will be updated to be using the Fuchsia OS as a testing bed for the platform. Because Nest Hub is all being run, everything on the Nest Hubs is being run with a Flutter, which is a programming language that's designed to go onto multiple platforms. It is easily ported over to the Fuchsia OS. And so if to most people, they won't see a difference at all in this case. But it is interesting that a brand new operating system has emerged and may be something much bigger in the future. Anybody interested in the new operating system by going for into Fuchsia? Do you like the color Fuchsia?
I have one of these Nests.
Oh.
If you remember, I bought it a month or so ago. I got it like dirt cheap, and I put it in the kitchen because that seemed like the place to put it.
It's a good spot for it.
And the only reason I notice it is because the screen changes and just like gets my attention when I turn the lights on and turn them off, because as it's adapting to the darkness, and that's it. So yeah, I'll see if I notice anything. I mean, theoretically, you shouldn't really notice anything.
Right.
And I mean, it's probably a good move because it's replacing the existing Cast OS. So
Right.
it's not like they're not even running true Android. They're running Cast OS, which was designed originally for devices that didn't have screens. You know, because the original
Chromecast.
And your the homes and stuff. So yeah, I'm interested to see what kind of functionality it might bring, but I doubt I'll notice anything.
I always love it when I see somebody who does a thing and it's this way because that's the way it's been done for so long, and it's been done the same way again and again and again. And then somebody did take a step back and say, okay, if we were just starting over and doing this all over again, how would we do it differently that would be better? And I like that when people do that and find success in it, because generally that it makes everything better for people.
I agree.
So I'm hopeful for Fuchsia to become something that is better for us, whether it stays in IoT or whatever. I hope it is a raising of the oceans for everybody's the rising tides floats all more boats and all boats. I think that's what it says.
Yeah, I'll have to figure out how to determine if I got the update, because it's going to roll out over the next couple months. So
I believe
it's not
you will
like
be.
there's a day where you can be like, okay, everybody go check now.
I believe you will be able to go into it and show you my settings in there, and you'll be able to see that it's running Fuchsia instead of the standard.
I'll have to figure that out, because like I said, I have literally never interacted with the thing other than when I initially set it up. I plugged it in and then it just haven't even touched it.
Okay.
So.
Okay. It's a nice clock, huh? Okay. All right, budget streaming service Philo. This has been available for $20 a month for as long as it's come out, and it is still $20 a month. If you have had the service up until this time, they are going to continue to honor that price for the people who have been using it at $20 a month. But from this point on, they are going to be increasing the price to $25 a month for
That's fair.
new people. Also, they do get one perk at the $25 a month function. If you are on the old $20 a month plan, you would be limited to 30 days DVR. So if you recorded something, you have up to 30 days to watch it before it gets automatically deleted. Anybody, including the $20 a month members, can go to the $25 level and get unlimited DVR on that package. So I like it when they provide an incentive for you to upgrade, even if it's a small token item like that. That's still good.
Yeah, do you get it unlimited? Because I think that extra $5 lets you keep one thing for an entire year.
No. You are right. It is not unlimited. It is you may keep things for up to a year.
But I read that as you can keep one thing, like something. You can choose something to keep for a year, but I may be reading into that myself. I don't know.
Well, right now everything is set to 30 days, and it says that now you will be, by paying the extra $5, you'll be keep something for an entire. I see what you're saying.
See,
there.
I don't like the way that this article is written, because it, depending on how you look at it, it sounds like two different things. So, either the either way, you're getting some sort of extra storage
from Philo themselves. They say that as part of the new $25 package, we are also extending the time we keep recordings in your unlimited DVR from 30 days to a year.
Okay,
so
cool.
All of them.
So it's you can keep it. I will say that number one, a $5 price hike to $25 is fair, especially considering all of the additional content that they have brought in over the last year, most of which they brought in out of necessity. Or wait, never mind. I'm thinking of Fubo. Philo, never mind. I take that back. No, but it's been all these years, and they're finally bringing it up. We knew this day was going to come, and $5, sure. Going from 20 to 60 would be outrageous, but $5 after 4 years.
Yeah, that's a.
I mean, it's 63 channels they have, something like that.
Yeah. They were basically the option if you didn't care about sports. You just wanted TV, you don't care about sports, you don't have to pay for sports. Cheap. And yeah, they're when we tried them out, this was the one that I actually kind of liked. If I wanted live TV and I wanted to pay for it, I would sign up for Philo in a heartbeat, even at $25. So,
absolutely.
All right.
Another update coming to a streaming service. Sling has got an updated version of their interface. If you are a Amazon Fire TV owner, you can use the Amazon Fire TV, and if you are lucky, you will be able to access the new version of this app, where it's got a whole new browsing interface. It looks to me, it looks much more traditional, like other services. Sling has traditionally had a much, the bottom bar thing that was their big thing. They still, and this one is looking much more Netflix or Amazon Amazon's Prime Video like in its selection package. So I don't know how I feel about that. I bet you there's going to be some people who are going to be upset about the change, but to me, this is more traditional. This is what I kind of expect to see on these things. So
this is something that Mike's going to have to report on.
I mean, I'll have to get Sling first. I got the Fire TV, but I don't have the Sling. I mean, I could see myself giving it a shot. I'm super not happy with the amount of money I pay for Hulu TV. And Sling is, especially for the content that I use, which is just the most common stuff on the market, noticeably cheaper. So only reason I haven't changed is because apparently not seeing a bill is enough disincentive for me to not bother changing, even though I know I'm paying too much money.
It's amazing how that happens.
You should try out Philo. See if Philo has everything you want.
Paperless billing is probably the most brilliant idea for company profitability ever. They save money on mail, they save money on printing and paper, and people freaking forget how much money they're paying, and they don't see that bill coming in every month. They stop thinking about it because nobody ever reads their email, obviously.
Wait, you're supposed to read email?
Yeah, that's what
I thought it was just an
No.
electronic trash can
It
that I
is.
dig through every once in a while to find a thing that I actually need.
Yeah, that's how I use it as well. Apparently, Matt differs from us.
In so many ways.
You probably pay attention to your expenses too.
Actually, so I actually still get my paper bills, and I still pay them individually. I don't write checks. I get my paper bills,
Well,
and I
would if they would accept them.
they can't read my handwriting
anymore.
So my argument is that, man, I get my points by putting it all on my credit card. Of course, the fact that I've paid for I can't remember how many things I forgot that I was paying for. And then eventually like a year later, remember, oh, that's been costing me that's $120.
So how long until that Hulu subscription pays for your trip to Disneyland?
Yeah.
I just got to keep my Hulu subscription going for another 48 years and I'll pay for one night at Disneyland. No, I mean, with the credit card that I have, it actually adds up really fast. I do get quite a few points. However, I will say some of those points are foolishly earned, like from my subscriptions to I have like a Duolingo subscription that I started to I'm going to learn Spanish for real this time. So I paid for Duolingo, and then like 6 months later, I'm like, I used that for like a week and I've been paying for that for 6 months. I should probably cancel that.
Oh no.
My brain registered that as Dua Lipa, the singer. I was like, what are you subscribing to? What do you get for subscribing to Dua Lipa?
She calls and sings me songs every week.
Does she sing you to sleep at night?
At night,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
It costs like $8,000 a month, but it's totally worth it.
Oh, okay.
Mi dinero. No.
No. Duolingo is
Yes.
it's actually a pretty good app. My wife and daughter use it, and my wife does it because she wants to actually be able to speak Spanish. My daughter is taking Spanish, and she has constantly been ahead of her class by using that app. So it has helped her a lot.
And plus, you live in Texas. It's like me growing up in Southern California. There was a lot of Spanish, and
like
you at
half the
least
people
need
that I
to
work with,
comprehendo. You don't
half the
need
people
to
that I work with
hablo
speak Spanish. Yeah.
necessarily,
But they all speak perfectly good English, so they're considerate to me when I'm there. But they, I would say a solid 50% of them can speak Spanish fluently.
All right, we have one last story of the week, and so Amazon, we love them, don't we? Have so much love for Amazon. Amazon has
Sarcasm Detected.
Well, no. Amazon is buying MGM Studios. They have put in the bid for $845 billion for access to the MGM Studios, not just access to their movies, to buy the whole studio. This is their ability to have access to a bunch of old MGM content. Although actually, I've read that much of the older content is actually been sold off to the rights to show those videos have been sold off to another company called AT&T and Warner. So that's weird.
But AT&T and Warner are going through a divorce.
Small correction
Oh.
on that number, man. It's 8.545 billion. Not
What did I say?
You said 845 billion.
Oh, did I?
That would be a heck of a deal.
Only off by 100%, by 100 times.
I mean, you just think, well, it's Jeff Bezos. That's probably about what he spends on his
Oh,
subscription. each
see,
year.
oh, I understand. He was going to get it for 845 million, but he put the one too many zeros on the check. Darn it. It's like, it's fine, whatever. No, that means that some of the really high end film franchises like James Bond are going to be owned by Amazon if this goes through. We'll see if there's any government intervention into this one, but somehow I doubt it.
I wonder.
Yeah.
My feelings towards this will hinge on one thing and one thing only. Does this purchase lock the final couple chevrons on the new Stargate series that they've been trying to get going for the last year and a half?
No
It's
idea.
very close. That's an MGM property. It's very close. And if Amazon brings me back the Stargate, I might say,
I mean,
awesome. But
Amazon, I could see Amazon doing that. That is the kind of, franchise that I could see Amazon picking up. I'm a little torn here. I don't think this is probably a significant enough change to the entertainment industry to warrant real concern over consolidation or anything. That said, that's a lot of really cool stuff that's going to Bezos's control, and
yeah,
and
I mean, it's not like it's being swallowed up by a competitor. By Columbia isn't purchasing it, or Paramount, or Disney.
Yeah.
It's not being swallowed up by Disney. So
Well,
I mean, most of this stuff is already available on Amazon anyway.
To a very small extent, but I mean, Amazon is a competitor. They do have their own. They do produce their own shows and stuff.
But I mean, they're not a direct competitor in the movie space that MGM is most known for.
Right.
That's what I'm talking about.
So MGM, some of the kind of movies they do is things like 21 Jump Street. They got Bill and Ted, Stargate series, RoboCop series.
Anything that starts with that lion growling.
Well, for example,
Panther.
Amazon is doing a Lord of the Rings series.
Yep,
It's true.
And
now
they
they're gonna get
now
all the
own the
Amazon.
Lord of the Rings movies, or they would
No,
if this deal.
The Hobbit.
No,
Oh, just
both.
the Hobbit.
Just
I
the
thought it
Hobbit
was
series.
I
both.
thought it was both of them.
No, MGM owns got the rights to the Hobbit series,
Okay.
but their Lord of the Rings
Okay.
is still the other guys. Can't remember the name.
Hey, maybe we'll get a RoboCop series.
Lionsgate. Yeah, I mean,
Rocky.
Yeah.
Poltergeist.
I mean, you could make a pretty cool Bond series rather than a Bond movie every year.
G.I. Joe.
How about just releasing the new Bond movie?
Or that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
mean,
I'm just waiting for that terrible Prime logo that starts at the beginning of all those videos. That ding thing that it does. I'm waiting for that to go away and just get replaced by the MGM lion that everybody knows.
See, the only reason I bring up my concern though is simply just that, I mean, Amazon's already such a behemoth of an organization now that they just swallowing up one more thing. It's kind of like Microsoft was back in the late 90s, early 2000s, where they were just and they still kind of do this, but buying every single tech company that they could get to agree.
So is it going to be the Amazon casino when we go to Las Vegas?
Exactly. Yeah. I mean,
I'm waiting for Amazon NBC.
Yeah.
So-
I that is interesting. I wonder how that would. I suspect MGM. Do they actually own the MGM brand?
They probably at least
They
have
do.
a
And
partial
is that
ownership
part of
it.
this deal,
Or
is
the
it just
Amazon Grand? Oy.
The Amazon Grand,
Uh,
the Grand Amazon.
I don't know. All I gotta say is, when they make Leo the lion with an Amazon smile on his, I'm done. That's it.
Does that mean that Amazon's gonna own the stadiums where the Las Vegas teams play? Because
Maybe.
they all play on MGM properties.
Maybe.
Yeah.
That could be.
So then Amazon will officially become a Raider fan, and they'll be pushing all the Raider gear and also all the what's the Knights, the Las Vegas Knights hockey team.
The Prime Knights.
But I was just gonna say you're gonna see Amazon flooded with that merchandise, and it's gonna be hard for you to find your actual team's stuff because it's kind of like how Amazon stopped selling Roku's because they don't sell competitors hardware.
You remember the movie Wall-E? And in the movie Wall-E, there was one corporation that took over the world.
Disney.
Everybody thought back in the day that was either Disney or Walmart.
What?
I knew when I saw that. No, this is Amazon.
Disney,
By and large,
Disney still could be because Disney just keeps getting bigger.
yeah, but Disney's not buying. Disney isn't buying. All giant supermarkets, which
Yet.
Amazon does, and isn't making its own money, which Amazon
Yet.
makes their own, and isn't trying to purchase giant movie theaters. Oh, actually, they did.
Yeah, they did.
Okay. Yeah, all right. I think that is the stories for us this week. So,
Alrighty, well, that brings us to the point in the show where we like to extend our warmest, heartfelt gratitudes to the people that make this show possible, to viewers like you, if you pay us money. The patrons. The patrons. I can't say that enough.
I agree. The patrons are awesome, but what are the guys who watch us don't pay us money?
Well, you need to thank the patrons for making this possible.
Fair enough.
You get to watch for free because the patrons.
Gotcha.
They got your back.
Okay.
But I'm pretty sure they don't want to. They don't want to hoist that entire load themselves. So if you would like to pitch in and give the patrons a hand, you can lighten their load while adding to our wallets. That's patreon.com/the Squad. And on that note, let's get to some rants and some raves. If I can find the button. All right, rant, rave. What's going on?
Not much for me. All I've got to say is this week there were announcements that one of my wife's and my favorite shows we used to watch all the time, CSI, they are apparently bringing it back. The original CSI Vegas is coming back as CSI
So the guy's
Vegas.
going to take off his sunglasses and then you're going to get that scream.
No, that was Miami, and we hated that one. That just so you know,
okay.
That one in particular we did not like. But CSI Vegas, they are actually bringing back a lot of the original actors and characters, and apparently the one of the main pivotal points of this series is going to be how the evidence in one way or another of a bunch of different cases is considered tampered, and so they're going to be having to go back over a bunch of old cases and redoing with the new technology and doing all the new using all the new stuff. I liked CSI because it was actually pretty science focused on the. I mean, sure, it's ridiculous and it's Vegas, which is another layer of ridiculousness on top of that. But also the guys on the show were, at least especially with CSI, the original show was mostly about how evidence was gathered and was used to solve crimes versus whatever all the other shows turned into this bombastic, gotta catch them by running fast.
Gotta catch them all.
Yeah, Pokemon shows. I'm not into Pokemon. I'm just not.
All right.
That's it.
So, oh god,
Yeah,
I
do you.
finally finished all of the Alone seasons. There's 7 seasons.
All of them, huh?
All of them are finally done.
Wait.
Are you feeling alone?
What is Alone?
I mean, I kind of no, not at all. I really enjoyed the show, the series. It's about people that are basically dropped off in the wilderness with very limited resources, and they have to survive
it's
there
a TV
as long
show.
as they can.
Yeah.
Yep.
This is the one like Naked and Afraid, but they're not naked.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh man!
And they're also completely alone with nobody else to
There's no
interact
camera
with.
crew?
No camera crew. They
Wow.
have to do all of their recording themselves and tote around all of the camera batteries and things.
Okay.
So other than a very limited set of survival gear, they have a crate full of camera equipment that they have to lug to wherever they set up their camp and build their shelters and whatnot. It is really interesting to watch people try to figure out how to survive and what it's, because like I said, I mean, they have very limited resources to go into it, and it I've done things like that, but over like a weekend, never for a long time. So it's like, if I don't eat for a weekend, I'm hungry. If I try to go without food for as long as I can, 3 months or so, then you die, right? Like you gotta find a way to eat. And so it's good. I enjoyed it a lot. I'm looking forward to the next season. It's coming out here in a couple of months. So other than that, I played a lot of video games lately. The Avengers video game is, I really enjoy the heck out of it. I think it's a great game. So it didn't get great accolades, but I really enjoy it. So.
I'm right with you with Anthem, sir. Anthem was a good game. I enjoyed it. Everybody hated it.
So then I'd probably love it.
No, I think the rule of math applied really fast to Anthem, actually. I think that's how that one worked.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Jimmy,
You might like...
You got anything, Jimmy?
Yeah, so I'm making my second lap on Billions. I'm through the 3rd season the second time and enjoying that one. And I'm trying to figure out what I want to watch this weekend. We got a long weekend coming up. I'm taking Friday off, right? So I'll have a 4-day weekend. And trying to figure out what I want to watch over the weekend.
You want a movie or do you want like a series that you can binge?
Probably a movie.
Okay.
You know, I'm not too much of a binger, really.
Yeah.
I mean, I just like to take things in, maybe
Sure.
an episode or 2 at the time, right? But
Are you interested in like a really good drama or action film or comedy, or what are you thinking?
And I don't think maybe I mentioned this last week or something. I can't remember now, but Friends is going to have that reunion show on HBO Max, so I'll probably give that a watch at some point, I guess. Right? Yeah, it's that'll probably be pretty interesting. Right? It's good to kind of look back at that, because Friends, most people either really liked it or they hated it. You rarely find somebody in between there. I enjoyed the show. I didn't watch all of it. I think I kind of dropped off after like season 5 or 6 or something like that. I kind of dropped off and maybe just would watch an occasional episode after that. But when they were on, that was kind of a phenomenal time for comedies, right? Because you still had other shows like Frasier, I think, was still on TV back then. Even Seinfeld too was still on back at the time, right? So I mean, there was a lot of good comedies that they were competing against. It still was a pretty good show.
I've got an idea for you.
Mm-hmm.
Because you've mentioned before you enjoy German production, German productions.
Mm-hmm.
You enjoy stuff that is centered around science. So like a German scientist. And then you also like sharks, right?
Oh boy.
There's a movie that I just recently watched called Sky Sharks. It starts out the absolute most absurd that I expected, but the thing that we got a curveball. The thing I didn't expect is there's a almost fully fleshed out movie behind there.
Really?
With a story and everything. Hey,
What?
and Bad Weavin even agrees. He was there. He said just as much science in Sky Sharks as in CSI. Sky Sharks ended up being a really decent movie.
I can't tell if that means that you're really pushing up Sky Sharks or if you're really, putting down on CSI with that statement. But I approve of that statement.
But it's a German movie about a German scientist who is coming to grips with the mistakes that he made in his past. They're kind of coming back to haunt him. And it was interesting. It looked really good. In parts, it looked amazing. And it features some people that you might recognize or you might not, depending on what circles you run in. And I think you would enjoy it. It starts out really fun and then gets kind of serious.
Where can I watch it?
I purchased it on Amazon.
Okay.
Yeah, the editing didn't do the story flow any favors, but it was way better than it had a right to be, as Bad Weave says. Yeah, we went in expecting just flying shark schlock, and they tricked us and they gave us an actual movie. With the story.
How dare they?
I know, right? Yeah. But yeah, Amazon, it's on Amazon. But real quick. Over the years, you may have heard me complain about Costco. How every time they have something I want, they get rid of it. Or they consistently have something, but the one time I go there to get it, it's gone and there's something different in its place. And I've complained about how over the years, there's been less and less of the stuff I want because they keep filling it with this home crap that nobody needs, that all the stuff in the middle takes up more and more space and pushes the stuff that I'm interested in off. Well, it turns out there is a Disneyland, for lack of a better comparison, out there called Costco Business Center.
Oh.
I didn't know what this place was. I thought it was a warehouse. Ironically, I went there partly to look at my old office because they moved in, they bought my old office building and tore out all the walls and all the floors. And so it's been Costco for a while. I thought it was just like a local storage warehouse. But apparently it is Costco, old school Costco, before they started bringing in all the crap for your home. it's primarily geared towards businesses and restaurants. It turned because the thing that's always frustrated me is I'll go on their website and they'll say, yes, we carry this brand of pizza. And then I go to the Costco and it's like, nope, we only have one option and it's something completely different. I went to the Costco Business Center. They had 6 different brands of pizzas. The thing that really had me going a couple weeks ago is I went to Costco to buy a pack of their hot dogs. Their quarter-pound hot dogs are amazing. And I went to the store. They said, oh, yeah, we don't sell those anymore. I was like, what are you talking about? This is like the whole reason that people shop at Costco is to get these hot dogs. Well, I mean, they still serve them in the snack bar, but they don't sell them anymore. Well, at the Costco Business Center, they sell them. So,
Nice.
yeah.
So this is Costco, but for
This is
companies.
what Costco used to be. This is what I remember pre-Costco when it was Price Club. And then it was the place they dealt for businesses, but the general public could come in and get stuff too. It was when they shifted everything to the home focus and like basically trying to sell to the HGTV viewers. Yeah, I don't need half the store taken up by plants and patio furniture. Yeah, it turns out when you actually get rid of all the stupid crap that Clyde doesn't care about, the place becomes amazing. So I have now I have found my Costco Mecca. But as I was saying, it was also very surreal because it was an office building that I worked in for 6 years that had a big warehouse attached to it. Now it's just completely gutted. The second floor where my office was is kind of there because of all the row of windows is there. So they had to leave a little bit of the floor along the corner, but they basically ripped everything. It's so weird. It's so weird. But
I'm looking at a Business Insider article about it, and it's showing the fact that you can get their 40-pound bags of potatoes next to, and also in the freezer section they have a 32-pound tubs of yogurt.
Yep.
And a 5-pound bag of marshmallows. Think how big a 5-pound bag of marshmallows is. I mean, that must be huge.
But that was the thing, is there's actually selection. Because it's all this stuff that's been disappearing. And then like I used to go to Costco, I'd be like, oh hey, I need a tub, or I need like some sort of implement or something, and I could get it at Costco. But lately you can't because it's all just kitschy crap. The only downside, the whole reason I go to Costco was to get a hot dog on my way out. Hot dog and a soda for $1.50. It's always been $1.50. It will always be $1.50. Yeah, they don't have the snack bar at the
Some
business
do,
one,
but not
the
all.
business one.
Yeah.
Yeah, apparently there are some businesses.
Yeah,
that have it.
this one in my area that I will be going to because it's technically on my way home from work. It's my old office that I've been driving by for years, but. Yeah, if you are a Costco member and you don't care about half of the crap they sell at Costco, find yourself a Costco Business Center and check it out. It may just reignite that fire in your relationship with Costco, that spark, and on that note, I got nothing.
Okay.
Say on that note, we should let everybody go before they lose that spark in this relationship. Thank you everybody for hanging out with us for tonight, and we will catch you all next month in June. That's right. Next month is June. But if you're listening to this after the fact, you should join us live. We're here every Wednesday night, 9 p.m. Central on Twitch. If you are here watching us live, but you would rather not, you can always listen to us after the fact. You just got to wait. If you're a patron, you'll get the podcast tomorrow. If you're not, then you get it on Friday or Saturday or Sunday, whenever it ends up going out. But it's always live on YouTube on Friday morning, thanks to the diligence of Mr. Wabbit Magic.
He is Wabbit Magic.
Yeah. And I think that's it. So,
all right.
I'm going to shut this down. Thanks, everybody. We will catch you all next week. Bye.
Later.
Diamond Club hopes you have enjoyed this program.